Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. We go, go, go. And I'm your president, HappyHealer, as it goes. And we're just here doing this stuff we always do. And caring about what's right and fighting for what's right. And we are here live now, just getting going. And so we're focused on our future. And we'll be spending some time together. And we will be building our community around the things that matter. And we are empowering in a variety of ways. And it's always about empowerment. So important. So incredibly important. And so the HappyHealer will empower you. Always great to know. I'm just checking my stream to make sure we're coming on here, which we're just starting to come online into the different areas, which is great. And we have a good number of people here and there popping in, which is good. Stick around. Talk to me, all right? Because I have my chat on, and I want to develop a conversation. I've got my phone. I've got my chat here. I've got this studio. We're in it. And we're talking about things that matter to us. And we're building this conversation based on that. And so I'm just going to talk about, to kick things off, about some of the different things that we are all sort of living through together and how it's affecting us and in what ways, in the variety of ways that it affects us, and what are the consequences to that. Because, you know, it's not free. There's consequences to that. And those consequences are quite grave, really. And so, if you are enjoying the information and agreeing with what we're fighting for, take an opportunity to go to www.happyhealerforpresident.com and pledge your support by entering your information in there, so I have it when I can later come back and I'll let you know what we're working on and the things that we all need to accomplish together. Also, pledge your support. Get involved in any way that you can. Share the message. You know the message is out there. You know what the message is largely. We're actually putting out so much information. And there's going to be so much more information coming out. The truth is, this candidacy is also a growing candidacy. What is the point in having a conversation with the people if you're unwilling to budge? That's the HappyHealer's view. So I am listening. I do care. But what is the point of being the people's candidate if you don't even listen to care? So I am the people's candidate, and I do care. And so we're going to be talking about that stuff too. So what's up, guys? Like I said, just jumping on here, and I want to just say hi to some of my friends. And Diora, DNA, I want to say what's going on, honey, how you doing? And Brian, Yap, what's up, man? It's been a great journey so far, hasn't it, my friend? Very good supporter. Brenda, Gavin, amazing supporter. Many of you are just great supporters, and the Happy Healer appreciates your support for the general cause of happiness and love, right? Isn't that really what we're just talking about here? So, and it gets so much deeper. And these are just people who are just general friends, really. And we're all a community. And that's just the way you build anything special. And this is very special. So remember, the humility candidate can get humble with you, and I'm trying to create like this spiritual kind of look in the background, and at this point I think it's more of a distraction than anything. And so I'm just going to if I can even find it right. I thought it looked cooler when I did it, but I didn't even do it on purpose, actually. I just didn't fix it, figuring, whatever. And so we got to take a couple of them out. Which... there's that one. And when you get having a lot of this stuff going on, you start getting a lot of elements. It's not that one. There you go. How's that? I kind of like that. Yeah, so we are working on a future that we're all counting on. And it's not about trying to prove anything or be better than anybody or... it's about having these moments where we can actually just always be on a level keel, a level playing field to understand one another, right? I mean, the Happy Healer struggles with this just in normal life, so let's just be clear. I'm not exactly the most, what would you say, like... already a lot of my friends consider me pretty eccentric, you know. I love people and I just love life, and I pretty much live in a very free sense, and a lot of people are turned on by that, and there's good reason for that because it's freedom, and it comes with knowledge and knowing that you have a creator who loves you. There's a lot there too, and so that's really cool. I get a lot of strength from my creator, as I think it's important. You know, if you have faith, it doesn't mean that you're somebody who's judgmental. It doesn't mean you are a hateful person. So not true of the Happy Healer. But faith, for what it is, if on a deeper level, because that's what I am, the Happy Healer, faith is real. And it allows you to touch your soul in a way that you believe, right? That you have a soul. So then you can touch your soul. If you don't have faith, you begin to question your essence and purpose. And so one of the biggest things that I always try to help people that I care about with is to understand that faith provides for them a safety net to deal with life as it comes at you too. That faith. And just knowing. And for everybody it comes differently. Like I have my own stories that made me who I am. And trust me, you wouldn't want someone to run for this office who does not have faith. I believe that wholeheartedly. Because that faith is what, ultimately speaking, sets anyone up to deal with any kind of situation in life. You can't deal with any kind of serious situation unless you have faith. So faith is a big deal, a very big deal. Anyone who's been dealing close with death knows how important faith is. And the Happy Healers dealt with death in a large degree. I've had my mother and my father and brother pass away, and so it does get to be a lot after a while. And so where do you turn when you get depressed and you think about, where did everybody that you love go to? Where did everybody go, man? You left me here all alone, yo. That wasn't cool. It gets lonely. And the Happy Healer knows that. You know, life's not all cupcakes and peaches for everyone, kids. Sorry to tell you. And I know for a lot of people, they feel that it is. They couldn't be so more wrong. Yeah, so it's cool to come on, and just have these moments where I'm not really trying to throw an agenda at you, or it's just to have more of, I hope you guys even ask questions and get more involved with the campaign in that way, because that's really encouraging for me too, isn't it? Because I enjoy having that interaction. And I get it when I'm talking to people, and it's really cool. You got to see, I was actually out today. I had to go to Apple because I was having a problem with one of my devices. And the experience was cool. You know, I talked to people there and did some campaigning, and it was fun. And I didn't record anything because this is completely just me living my life. You know, I'm really not that concerned about whether people, in the end, ultimately speaking, have to agree with every little thing I say. Okay? Yeah, I want their support, and I know that ultimately speaking, if they're smart and they really listen to the issues, that they'll give the support undoubtedly. But if to get that support, I have to also say, yeah, this is live. How's it going there? It's good to see you. Yeah, it's live. So and I know there's a bit of confusion, and what I'm going to do is set up more of a system. Because here's the thing, we have to fight to get our word out there, don't we? And be willing to put your questions in or what have you. That's great, and I'm just glad to even get a little pulse. You know, it's hard to be even engaged yourself when, you know, you're like, is there anybody there? Is there anything there? Hello? And it's like, okay, the hell with it. Just sit there, maybe smoke a little bit of marijuana. That might get someone's attention. And then eventually somebody comes along and you're like, oh, hey, what's going on there, Bubba? Yeah, let's go talk about America. I'm ready to talk about America. Let's get America on the phone, eh? Yo, America, what up? And no, this is not comedy. I'm dead serious. This is a run for the presidency. But we can't have fun on the way. Yeah, I think not. We can have lots of fun. And that's the whole point. So if I have to be fake to run, then I can't run because that's just not the way I am. But is that the kind of candidate you want? So, America, that's the question you're going to have to ask. Because the Happy Healer is, as you can see, he can give speeches and give it to you the way it is. But also, he just wants to be himself and real and honest and, just unload in an honest way. Just give it to you raw and I hate these terminologies, never quite fit well with me. But just be honest and principled. That's right. That's right. To be so incredibly principled. And it's great living values and virtues that you should live by, whether you're running for president or whether you're just being yourself, right? With your friends and that's the point. That's me. That's what you're getting. And that is a great thing because, man, I'm driven. Have you seen how crazy I am? I'm like crazy driven. And that's a great thing. And we all need to be crazy driven and excited about life and happy. That's what we're talking about. And that's why I'm running. Duh, right? Doesn't it make such perfect sense? And if it catches on, it just might actually change the world because we can do so much with that kind of thinking. Think about it. I mean, this is just the start. And I'm 40 years old. I'm old enough to run. And, I can fill the britches. Trust me, I have no problem being a leader. I'm not a dictator. I am a leader in that sense. I lead and I just show how to lead with courage, as that is the mission and the hope, and it feels good, to be able to do something that matters. And just have a difference in people's lives. Even if it's not a lot of people, but that they are affected. That's cool. And I'll take it. But if we can do more, well, then that's where we break into some awesome places. And that's largely up to the gods, isn't it, right? The Happy Healer is prepared as far as mentally. He's got a good support system. God is amazing. And humanity, that's what we are here for each other. My family, my friends, and we all are here for each other. It's really the icing on the cake in life. We got to promote each other. We have to say how important we are. That's why I keep saying, oh, I'm no better than you, or, we're all the same thing. Because I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, first off, if I were walking around acting like I'm better than anyone, that'd be pretty stupid, because it's like, really? You're not better than anyone. It's so obvious. And that's how we should all just sort of remember that whenever we are, not that we're to remember that we're not better than anyone. I want you to remember that you're the best and to love you very much and to love you with all your heart. But that I want you to just love yourself. Never forget that. But, you can do that and still be humble. You can still love yourself and be humble with a humble heart. And, that's what I'm running with, a humble heart. I'm running with a humble heart. I got heart too, and I'm running. That's the point. and it's with a humble heart. And yeah, I get fired up. You've seen how I can get. You already know. I don't need to be like that 100% of the time you see me on the air. I mean, come on. You know, I can set back a little bit too and have a different kind of approach. And also, therefore, make a connection that's even deeper. Because remember, throughout all of this, we are making a connection in our values, in what we're all fighting for, and what matters to us. That's so important to note that. And I think, for the most part, everyone here sort of gets that. And, you know, Facebook's not the easiest site to manage. I know a lot of you guys don't even deal with Facebook at all, it seems like. Some of you guys don't even go to Facebook at all. Just you have no use for it whatsoever. Huh. The degradation of my shawl, there goes, okay. Yeah, I guess that other song thing went out. I'm not even paying attention to that thing. But yeah. So be good kids. Make sure you take the trash out. Make sure you brush your teeth. The Happy Healer loves you, kids. Do your studies. I studied my German. Ich spreche gut Deutsch. Ich habe das Gefühl, alles klar. Und jetzt, ich kann es nicht mehr. Und jetzt, ich kann es nicht mehr. Was kann ich tun? Where are you from? I'm from Orlando, Florida. And I am the Happy Healer, Keith Landi. And I am running for President of the United States. It's a serious run. We are going to win because we care. We are going to win because we care. We're like a bunch of Care Bears caring. And it's exactly what the hell we need. And we're not fools and we're not Care Bears either. We're not clowns either. That's not what being a Happy Healer is. It's about knowing your spiritual value and your human worth and putting that first. There you go. Defined. Know it. Live it. Be it. Understand it. Secure it. Push it. And let us hope that we can continue to build and build and build and create and grow and build and create more and grow more and build more. That's the way that we sing our way to the very top, and we do it together. And we build, and we build, and we build, and we grow, and we don't get pig-headed about it, and we just do it because it's the right thing. When you do things because it's the right reason, then you find a certain happiness in everything that you do. And you do, when everybody around you is taking stock and putting worth and value in everybody else around you, you will also do the same thing. It is in human nature. So we can. That's great news, by the way. God programmed us just right. The great news there is then that there's hope that we can have a peaceful and happy, productive world. And we can even get that in this life. That we can have that based on virtues and values. Not based on taking freedoms away or, you know, being this police state that we see emerging in the socialist sphere, right? I mean, we have to be a little careful. And we just also have to make sure that we embrace democracies. So important, says the Happy Healer. But also that we deliver to the promise of taking care of humanity, which means we need to have in this new and growing age where we're going to have robots taking even more jobs. Okay, so we've got to give people income for all that's coming. It's coming. It's coming. You know it's coming. Unless you want to see depopulation effects and other things, we got to start putting humanity first and putting value. Just because you're human, you get XYZ. Just because you're human, you get that. That's just because you're human. That's the starting point. Then if you want to make additional, you want to be the next Bill Gates, that's on you. But just for being human, we're going to free up all of your creative growth so that you can focus on putting towards the human stock, because that's the future of humanity, and that's where we need to be focused. Everybody's focused in the past, the happy healer's focused in the future. So that's the difference between the candidates, when we get into talking about policy. Because they're not really thinking about that stuff, are they? They're not. They're not thinking about it because they're locked in today's thinking. But here's the best part. The happy healer, while he does look like he's in his 20s, and I love it, it's just so fine. I'm just eccentric on me. I don't care. And it's beautiful. It gives me that freedom. I just feel more comfortable in my own shoes this way. But what it does say to me is that I, as a 40-year-old man who has all of my life believed in progress, now know one truth that nobody can deny to me, my generation, or any of the generations who came after us. And that is now that we've reached a special threshold. And that is that 40-year-olds, that's me and all of my peers and younger, we are a driving force for change, and we are numerous. And so, they kind of have to listen to us a little bit more now, And that's sort of what's happening. And you're seeing these changes, and you're seeing these massive changes, and people moving in different directions. And Censored says, I want to have reverence for my ancestors just as one of the common folk. And I agree, no, differently. And I have to pay a little bit more attention to those comments. I totally want the back and forth. Sometimes I get going ba-boom, ba-boom, and I go, phew, and I forget to go back because sometimes I have to do that. Otherwise, there's no program. And if I'm relying on the interaction and then it stops, then the program's done. And this program's important. This is the future of America. And it's not a joke. It's the future of America. And I'm not even going to say it like that anymore. I just like being cute, okay? Sorry about that. But this is the future of our country. Hey, I'm going to get a Diet Coke. So y'all can get one too. And I'll see you right back here in about 10 seconds, all right? Cool deal. Not 10 seconds, more like 30. Hey, get back here. Oh, there you go. Alrighty. Yep, things will be a lot easier when I have all the White House staff and all the extra help and everything that comes with that. But right now, it's just me, your happy healer. And I knocked over some stuff, and luckily, it didn't, well, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. Something can still mess up. I'm just going to softly put this back, and I'll kind of explain to you why I'm being so delicate with it. Because it contains the hard drive that is operating this entire system right now. Because I had to work an extra hard drive off the system to work everything because I got a lot going on here. As it turns out, running for president requires a lot, and so that's that. I wonder, I got to see if I can clean this screen up a bit. Let's see here. I'm going to do a show one of these days on how to do some good edits. But I have to be careful on how much stuff I do that's not presidential. Because I know you guys really, we got to be really focused on what we're doing here. And you see the Happy Healer is? And what I'll do is I'll probably have like a candid hour. That's a great time for us to come and just, be normal, whatever. I could smoke my marijuana, and I could maybe do a few other things. And then when I get out of my candid hour, I can get back to like, okay, brush it up. And, at what point do we ever get to be normal in life? Like, we're not all the same. That's a great thing. Are you kidding me? Do you want to know what this world would be like if we were all the same? Jeez. And you can't look down on someone just because they're doing something that you don't agree with either. You have to realize, and by the way, that's another thing about my generation and many others, is that they're beyond that, most of them. They're well beyond that. And so you see me, I'm easily electable just as is for a lot of people. Yeah, probably so. I would need one. But, no less than anyone else, right? Censored. He said, would I have a White House psychiatrist? Yes, most certainly. You are hilarious. And these are the serious presidential questions, right? It's just funny. But that's it. You could just walk into it and just have fun like you're having now. It's just a hilarious thing, isn't it? And perhaps it's the greatest fun that people enjoy. And you build community, and then you get your ass hit and struck by, you get back into a serious mode, you're like, fudge, what are we working on again? We got to get serious about this, and everybody wisens up, and well, that's just what we have going on here, because, well, damn, we are a serious set of people, a serious bunch of people, and, there's always a challenge, isn't there? Well, another candidate proposed. Hold on, would you? Who's the one that's second closest to being a Twitch streamer? I want to hear this. We're just having a little bit of back and forth engagement fun here. You guys can pay attention to the comments. So, the freedom dividend one? I don't know who you're talking about. I would be for that. Why not? You got to have... Now, can that psychiatrist bill you as crazy because you're a spiritual guy and you believe that, like, we live in a magical place and that things could be so amazing and that we need to fight for, like, human rights and all this stuff? Like, because that's, like, my entire candidacy. That's not a nutty thing. Is that a nutty thing? It's a nutty thing to believe in a creator and to have, like, a belief system that we're so powerful inside and that we can really overcome so much. And that we can really achieve so much, and that we can be happy and in this life. That's like a really encouraging thing, isn't it? But, I mean, I would love to go on Rogan. The truth of it is, right now, we're just getting things set out. You know, you can hear the cobwebs, the crickets, crick, 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 crick. It's funny. I don't care. Do you think the Happy Healer cares about this stuff? He long ago has his humility. He doesn't worry in the least about this stuff. So if like you feel this air of whatever, the point is I can have the fewest number of people watching in a given moment. I'm always engaged. At other moments there are more, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're in it for the right reasons. All right, 1, 2. We're not pushing the buttons that we are going to push when we're ready to push certain more buttons. Then you'll see more attention. The thing is you know, it's done in processes and stages. You got to have a sense of what you're doing. Remember, the Happy Healer is also a business manager. He knows how to build things and how to tinker with things and learn and I mean just do amazing things and has many talents in that way. You know, you're going to get to know the Happy Healer in his biography in a lot of ways. You know, the Keith Landi, essentially, let's just say. Keith Landi is the Happy Healer in that way, and I like to refer back to that is because I want to remind always where I came from, 1, 2, because that journey matters and it tells my story. So I am the Happy Healer, and that's all that matters. That's just the truth. And so when I tell the story as the Happy Healer, it allows me to tell the story and engage and allow you to get into it as well. You're right, you know, and the point made was, I think popularity contest cultures leads to cognitive dissonance about what's really important. And that's so incredibly true. And that's what I don't want to get caught up into. Do you think I'm not aware of what they're talking about right now? Actually, I'm not totally aware. But the truth, that's really funny because, you know, the truth is I'm not totally aware. But typically I do know, but not right now. And that's good, though, you know, to be dialed into their world all the time. They're not talking about what matters to you. Why do you got to go to them to find out what matters in the world? What? Hello? We're doing a reset on that. It's okay. Because we're going to get focused on you. We're going to say what's important to you is important to me, is important to you too, and back and forth. It's a feedback loop. We got that feedback loop thing down. No, you guys are going to like the Happy Healer as your president. Come on, just get used to it. You know you're going to like the Happy Healer as your president. And when among friends we can be soft and loving, and you almost have to be, because we just matter too much. But when it's time to be ferocious, fierce, and in the fight for what matters and counts, you just also have to be that then too. And that's how the Happy Healer does, because that's what we all must do. Oh, yeah. Don't you know? Because the Happy Healer said so. Ba-boom, boom. Don't you know? Because the Happy Healer said so. Don't you know? So there's a lot of things that's on the website that you're going to want to take a look at, read if you haven't read them already. Oh my God, are you kidding me? We just put out some of the best reasons why I am the strongest candidate to beat Donald Trump, and also the only candidate really in this race that is relevant. There's no other candidate talking about what matters to the people. All right, so there's that fact. And to get more on that, you should really go to the website. It's under the latest blogs. Always updating things on the site, putting on the blogs, the news, updating this, updating. Everything is being updated. It's going to continue to be that way through this race. And you said there was somebody else doing some sort of Twitch campaigning like the Happy Healer is, because I really thought I was the first to do this. Like, I thought this was like a Happy Healer thing. Everybody says, I'm going to break into a concert. That's going to be funner. I just got that energy. And then we'll break into speech. First we'll do the concert. Give the people the fun. Then we'll do the speech. Hurrah! Hoorah! And then we'll go beat 'em up, baby. We will win this country, and we will just beat 'em up in a good way. But kick ass. Donald Trump, watch out. The Happy Healer's coming for you, man. Watch out. Because the Happy Healer's coming for you, man. And he's coming with love. You ain't even going to know how to fight that. He's coming at you this way, that way, like that. You're going to be like, whoa! He's coming at you from the presidential seal itself. What are you going to do, Donald J. Trump? I don't think you have the answer for the happy healer. I really don't think you do. I don't think you do, and I'm just being honest about it, because I really don't think any of your advisors can prepare you for it. That's the truth. I'm telling you it's the truth. If you don't believe me, just go to the drone lounge. Okay. All right, so Andrew Yang is among the known candidates, the most hippity-hop candidate. Is he about as hippity-hop as the Happy Healer, would you say? I mean, there's political streamers, but I feel overwhelmed by ideological espousing. I'm sorry, I don't know that word. But I'm running for president still. That's not getting in the way of anything. Here's the deal, dude. There's political streamers out there that are not maybe... They're definitely not the Happy Healer. And that when it comes to, you've got to have some convictions, right? All right, so here's where I'd have to say to this, and I don't think that a lot of these guys are even prepared to answer this question or get into it at all. And that is the humanities thing. If you're gonna have a standpoint and you're gonna say that you care about humanities, then, and for me I couldn't do it otherwise. I would have to step out and say this is not a job I can do. Because the human element is why I'm in it. It's the reason why I should be elected. It's the reason why I should win it. So, when you talk about these ideological beliefs, all I could go back to is, how can you even know what someone's going to do if they're not based on something? And how do you know how they're going to react when the times, or if the times get tough or rough? And if the times are great. Some people get out of control, right? Some people, they don't have the sense and wisdom to know when to let smoothness and finesse win, and when to let the lesson shine in a way that is positive. They don't let things mature fully. They like to cut things off and get impatient. And the human spirit is one that grows into a beautiful thing if you allow it. But we don't have time. Did you know the average attention span right now is 8 seconds? 8 seconds! I'm going to end up getting into speech mode, and I'm not trying to. But this is the candidate that you have chosen here. And I always say you summoned me, because look at the environment you put me in. Damn it! You put me here. Many of you did. All of you that went crazy over politics and just went nuts. How many of you, who did you lose in your life? I know who I lost, right? The only ism is like a never quit ism. Yes, sir, man. You know, true heroism is never defined by those who fought but didn't fall. It's defined by those who fought, fell, and indeed rose again, came back to fight another fight, and to stick through, to stay on to another day is so important, isn't it? And so it's not always about victory. Sometimes it's just about marching on. And that you have to give credit to those victories too. So everybody gets credit. It's the people who barely survive. They're doing their best. Give them so much credit. And the people who are all-stars. When everybody just does their best and out of love. I mean, our bare necessities are quite simple. We need a roof over our head and we need sustenance. If we have both, outside of that, it's just desires and wants. We have more social needs than anything else. So we've got the answers for the people. We do. And it's with kindness. And we all have this energy in us, and we just have to tap into it. You know? That energy. You know that energy. That energy. It's that humdrum, that human humdrum. It's that spirit element. You know that spirit element. It's there. You feel it. Come on. It's there, right? Just there. You can almost touch it, can't you? It's just so right there. And boom, you touched it, right? Because it's so real. That human element. The one that when you get closer, pushing in and touch deeper. Yes, Mr. Tim, I am running for president. Thank you for asking. Welcome to the broadcast, where we are the only presidential campaign spending time with the people one-on-one, having these conversations, and the only campaign talking about what matters to the people. I mean, you can dial into CNN and Fox and see what matters to them, but I know that's not what matters to you and what matters to me, your HappyHealer candidate for president, Keith Landi. What matters to us is our futures, the problems that we see in our own surroundings. I lost several people in my life that I love because of political beliefs. Can you believe? And I'm not even... Here's the deal. I was a Democrat and still am, but just wasn't so, I was just moderate. Like, I'm not like crazy about being a Democrat or whatever. I'm more crazy about being American, you know, like I just love. I love, and I like me love. And so I love. And damn it, they got in the way of that. And so they summoned me, man. Don't get in the way of the HappyHealer and his love. He'll run for president and he'll get this whole country loving. Yeah, so there's this story of the HappyHealer, and I am eager to talk about that one so much. Oh my goodness, yes. So Tim, I'm running for president. Thank you for the question. And you guys keep them coming because these are cracking me up. They're just so true and get straight to the bottom of what matters. And so we are talking about what matters, and we're doing it realistically. And take a moment to just witness your next president of the United States. Take a quick toke, just real quick. Okay, yeah. So here's the deal. God's a great God. You know, he gives us all the rope in the world in a variety of ways we can hang ourselves, and many of us do. We have to pull back, and we have to learn how to have self-constraint and how to lead our lives with love and to set an example for everybody else with that love and by that love. Leadership is not about telling people who they are and how they should live, which is basically what every single other candidate is doing. Leadership is instead, it's about inspiring people and empowering them to be who they know they should be, to live their fate. And America was once to be the country that provided that, and it was known to be the American dream. And we're getting not back to that, we're getting better than ever before. Because here's where we're going, to the new spiritual realm. This is a place where we can just put human and humanities and human culture and human value on a pedestal like no other time. Human education and human creativity. All of this is where we're headed. That's what matters. Why are we doing anything else but that? Because at the end of the day, that is what life is. And that's where people grow. That's where they become their best. That's where you fight depression. People want to be involved in community. They want to be involved and they want to be part of something larger than themselves. They want to be involved in their neighbors, in their towns, in their communities, and there's nothing to do. There's nothing to really put your heart in that you can get serious about. And there's no leader that's leading. You can't have these kinds of things that mean something special without somebody that's actually giving that love that we talk about so much, that love. And it's so important that you just consistently and constantly and over reaffirm that love. So yes, that's incredibly important as well. And we'll just continue to remind ourselves of that. And I hope you guys are having a great night. I certainly am. We're going to go ahead and put the tape back on here in a little bit, but I will be back out again, and we'll be putting this campaign front and center. And we'll be having more pre-recorded messaging, and the constant 24-hour bit will be going. And just be sure to listen to the messages. The live part's cool. We could build on community, and I know you'll be looking for me when I come in, and that'll be great. But also, let's just make that mental connection. Be a part of the movement in spirit. Make that connection. Because many people have already made the connection, and that is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the strength of that. And that's where I know we continue to do that, and we continue to build, and we continue to build the community, the subscription base, and the campaign is going to come right together. All right, guys. So I am your Happy Healer, and I am going to put you back here now to your other programming. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to go off the air, and then we'll come back with the other programming. So we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out with me. Your Happy Healer for President 2020. Make sure you go to www.happyhealerforpresident.com and pledge your support. Thank you. God bless.